Hi everybody, Q&A session today. So we're going to take you through some of the questions which you've asked us and you've left in the comments box below that's in there. So please do leaving those. First question up is regarding electrics on the beach tour. Quite a few people have asked this and talked around the same kind of thing that's with it as well. So in the tour version, you've got that secondary battery under the passenger seat. No differences that's there on it. But what you haven't got is you haven't got the actual electrical hookup that you can plug in on the side of the vehicle. So that second battery works all the plug sockets that's from that B pillar backwards. So your sockets that's in there, that's in the vehicle, they work from on there, but you don't have that 240 volt hookup that's there. So hope that kind of answers it. If you've got the camping version, you've got the camper rather than the actual tour version that's there. Obviously that does come with a socket in the side. It comes with those additional switches that's on there, and you get that 240 plug that works when you are plugged in. Question here from Adrian, reference parts. He's asked on the Caddy California, they've got air vents which are in the windows. He said, can you buy them? Yes, you can. So pretty much any part which is available for a vehicle, you should be able to order from any Volkswagen commercial centre. So even if it's a part which isn't an accessory as such, you should still be able to order that part and get it in. Obviously, depending on how many of those particular parts are sold will depend on what's in stock. But even things that aren't in stock do eventually, if you order it, it will eventually come in. So those air vents which go on the windows when the windows come up, they are fairly popular actually. People do buy them if you've just got a normal caddy and want to put them in there, for example, if they've converted it into a camper and things like that. So I said they are available from the parts department. Just give them a ring and they can advise you on costs and how long you can get them and things like that. Now, a question I get asked a lot, Ian's asked this question. So Ian, you've got a 5.1 SE California, and you're asking about the roof bellows. You want to know whether you can upgrade to the newest version of the roof bellows with what you've actually got at the moment. Now, you will find, for example, if you go in on there, the parts will what the class has superseded. So the old roof bellows, for example, you'll be able to get different roof bellows that's for your vehicle. So on the one that you've got at the moment, can you upgrade that to a newer version of canvas? The answer to that is yes, you can. Whether you can upgrade it to the very latest canvas, I'm not 100% sure. So the best thing to do is to speak to your local dealer, because it's not something you're going to want to do yourself. You probably want to get somebody in to do it, go and take it somewhere and actually get it replaced. It's in there as well. But you'll notice the roof structure and how it all works, for example, is the same across all the different model variations that we've got. So for example, it will move from a 5.1 to the same canvas that's in a 6. I don't know of any reasons why that won't work, but let me know in the comments box below to the video here if anybody's done that, and let me know if anybody's actually transferred it to the very latest version of that with the pan roof, for example, in the front. Can you put that in an older version? Nick's asking about tyre pressures that he's got on his vehicle. So with the tyre pressures, I think you're having a bit of a problem with yours. Is that you say you've checked all your tyre pressures, they're all okay, but it's still showing as a problem on your dash. And you asked if there's a reset button. Yes, there is a reset button. So if you look in your multifunction display in the centre and go onto vehicle and scroll down to the bottom, it's probably why you can't see it because it's in the bottom section of the scroll that's in there depending on your model. You'll find tyre pressures. You click on tyre pressure that's on there, and then it will ask you whether you want to store the current settings. And you press the down button to go OK and press enter that's on there, and that will then reset the tyre pressures to where you've actually got it on. Because I think I've said this in videos before, your tyre pressure warning will occasionally come on and you'll get it on, it'll say check all 4. All that's basically saying is you need to check your tyre pressures. It's not saying you've got a particular leak or something in one particular tyre. It's just advising to check your tyre pressures and check them all round, and then obviously you can go and reset the system once you've done that. So I hope that helps. Question about buzz heating. So the question was about whether you can use the heating system on a buzz, say for example if you're using it while you're camping, and the answer is yes and no. With the buzz, with the WeConnect app, you can heat your vehicle remotely from the app and actually get it on. So for example in the morning before you go out to your vehicle, you can switch the heating on and get it to work on that basis, and it is no different to the vehicle that's in there. So yes, you can kind of heat the vehicle while it's in there, for example, and you've got your vehicle on, because it is electric. You're not running the vehicle as such that's in there. Obviously you'll be using energy from the battery that obviously will go down, so it's not something you won't want to have the heating on constantly, I suppose, from in there, but you can do that. So yes, kind of, if that kind of makes sense. It was in that question for you. So if you were camping, for example, you could obviously have it on using the equipment that's in there as well, and obviously that will give you the heat that's coming out from the vehicle. It is worth pointing out on something like a buzz as well is the buzz does have an additional battery that's on the vehicle. So you've got your main battery, which is the one that powers the engine, and there is actually an auxiliary 12-volt battery. It's a lot smaller than what the normal batteries would be on a vehicle, because that does run some of the systems that's on there as well, but it's worth just pointing out that is on board as well. Question from Alan regarding AC, whether it works on electrical hookup. So different answer is going to be for a particular vehicle you have. So Grand California with the air conditioning unit that's on the vehicle, that will only work when you're plugged in to the socket in the back of it. So that only works on the 240 plug socket that's on there. Air conditioning systems that are engine variation ones, so these are ones which are connected to the engine, will only ever work when the engine is running. So whether you've got a Grand California, for example, and you're talking about the air conditioning system coming out the vents at the front, or whether you've got a California based on the T6, for example, variation that's on there, on a Caddy that's there, again, that will only work when the engine's running to bring that hot air out. And the air conditioning systems on those vehicles, so on the Transporter and the Caddy, do not work when you plug into the mains. So essentially, you can use your air conditioning system on the Transporter and the Caddy, or the Crafter if you want to use the engine version of that, but the engine does have to be running. And that's the key thing to remember, is you're going to have your engine running to create that cold air, because that's how it works. And obviously, having your vehicle running while it's not going anywhere is not great. So obviously you really want to avoid that. I'm not sure who posted this question, but who posted it reference to camping gas bottles. Because of the question, you're talking about the 904 camping gas bottle. Apparently that's been phased out from what you were saying. I've not heard that myself, but it would not surprise me, because it's not exactly a big seller, that 904 camping gas bottle. The 907, the bigger one, is what everybody tends to have. And I'm guessing you've got something like a Beach, because that is the one that takes a 904, because you can't put the 907 in that particular variation that's in there. I'm going to go away and find out whether there is an alternative to that. There is definitely alternatives that you can put in there, but it's a combination of whether you might need a new regulator, or for example whether you can put something smaller on that regulator, which actually goes into the vehicle that's there as well. That regulator will take different types of canisters that's in there, and different sizes that's there as well. So I'm going to have a look into that for you. Might be worth checking out whether they're doing the same for 907 maybe as well, and see what that differences are there. Two last questions for today. One from Gilly, reference to solar panels. Wants to know whether she's going to put solar panels on the roof, whether it will affect the warranty. It will affect the warranty on whatever you're plugging into. So I've had the conversation lots of times with the warranty. So anything that you then go and alter on the vehicle by doing something which the vehicle's not designed for, effectively you are invalidating that area of the warranty. So with solar panels, for example, that's in there, the only thing really you're going to be doing is connecting that solar panel via a charger of some description or inverter into the actual vehicle itself, onto the battery. So then obviously, you're probably talking about things like, for example, the battery that's in there, for example, and the other bits that's in there, but it doesn't affect your warranty on your engine, nothing to do with your engine. So a bit of common sense rules apply that's in there as well. Lots of people have put solar panels on there. I would advise getting somebody who knows what they're doing, is an installer to do it, because they will know what you can and can't connect into. We've talked about this before. A lot of the cabling that's in these modern vehicles now is CAN bus. It's two-way communication cables. They're picking signals up that's off those cables. So if you tap into the wrong thing, it can cause problems as well. But I've talked to people about solar panels in the past. Lots of people have asked me, why don't we do a solar panel for the T6 variation of the vehicle, or the Caddy that's there as well? And the answer short is it's the development. This vehicle, the 6.1, we've talked about this. It is on. There's going to be newer versions of this vehicle coming out quite soon now. In the next 12 months, you're going to have new variations of this as well. So, and the design of this vehicle, it's been around for a very, very long time. You look at the roof design; it's not changed at all. So incorporating that solar into the vehicles. But the big thing for me with solar, I've said to people before, is with this type of vehicle, you tend to be using it every day. So for example, if you've got a big motorhome or something like that, it might be parked up and left somewhere. You might have another mode of transport while you're away camping. You might not just use it to nip to the local shop when you're away, but something like this, you might use it. So how long does it get left parked before you go and use it out and about? As soon as you use it out and about, that's charging your batteries anyway for the vehicle. So that kind of gives you an idea of where you are. The batteries, depending on what version you've got, there's a big battery that's on board as well. Plenty of storage options that's there as well to give you those extra power. I've talked about it in the past. You know, if you've watched the videos for a while, you know I've got one of these power banks that's there. They're quite useful. You can connect solar to those as well as an additional option. That gives you uplift to bring it up to 240 volts. So I tend to use that myself if I'm actually away, just because I've got a bigger power output. So the one I've got gives us a 600 watt power output on 240 volts. That's just from that power bank as well. So I tend to find I use that a lot more because it's still self-contained. Plus, if I'm away, wherever I am, whether I'm camping or whatever the case is, I can just take it in the boot of my car all the time. So lots of different options as far as that's concerned. So I hope that kind of answers those questions that's there. And then finally, somebody asked how tall I am. And I understand where they come from now, because I think it was on the Buzz bed one that was there when we said, oh, I can just about lie down in there, that's how tall I am. So I am about 6 foot, so it gives you an indication to, on these videos when you're watching me lie down in something, I probably should have said that before, that gives you an idea on my length. So that's it for today. We've got a few more questions that we're working on answers for, just trying to get the right information to you. As I said, we always try and give you the most up-to-date information that we've got that's there. As always, if there's something we've said that's not quite right or you think's wrong, pop it in the comments box below. We'll go and find out for you. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you found it interesting, some of the facts and things that's in there as well. As I said, keep putting those comments in the comments box below so we can keep answering these questions as well. So we'll see you next time.